everyone. Welcome to the episode 5 of CD Bath. Well, it feels like a beautiful journey to talk to such humble and motivated leaders every day. And it is indeed a journey of truth and introspection, where the youth of this country shares their vision and motivates the others. Till now, we have had some amazing guests on our podcast who have been living the life of youth leaders. Once again, I have this opportunity of introducing our guest for this episode, Ms. Simarpreet Kaur. She has graduated as a student of biotechnology from St. Joseph's College for Women in Andhra Pradesh. Born in the family of an army man, she has grown up watching a real superhero of this country. Simar and I have been friends since we met each other at the National Youth Parliament Festival 2019 in New Delhi, where we represented our districts as district delegates. Among all the proud youth leaders, I found her to be the liveliest yet calm. She is an amazing speaker, very talented poetess, and a source of constant motivation for her friends. With a dream to launch an innovative startup in food, she is always trying to learn new things, and we can absolutely call her an all-rounder. So let's hear from Simar today, her journey and perspective from a dreamer to a go-getter.
A very warm welcome to you, Simarpreet. I think you'll make a great value addition to our show today. I'm eagerly waiting for what you have to say.
Preet and Pawan, today I feel very obliged and blessed that I have been given this wonderful opportunity to speak on the platform of CD Bath. I believe that if what you believe is you can achieve and you can empower others by your actions. This has been my main motto since the days I've been working for my college and even in my school. So it's your actions which inspire others. If you're doing good, you will spread positivity. In the same way, I lead the people around me, and I'm very blessed to get a chance to speak on this platform.
Since the day I have invited Simar for this podcast, I have been thinking, why did she choose this particular topic from a dreamer to a go-getter? Well, I'm very sure she must be having some amazing insights about this topic and a story supporting it, which she will be sharing with us very soon. And this is the beauty of this podcast. We allow our speakers to choose the topic themselves, and they come up with such amazing ideas. Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, Oprah Winfrey, J.K. Rowling, and all the others. These are some names that stand out when we think about world's highest achievers. Just consider for a moment all the people who have achieved incredible and remarkable feats over a lifetime. They must have overcome improbable odds and succeeded where most of the others failed, or at least their willpower failed. What do you think separates these achievers from anyone else? Or more specifically, what do you think it takes to be a high achiever? Just maybe you need to be super intelligent, or maybe incredibly creative, or maybe you need to know the right kind of people, have good connections, or possibly even luck plays a big factor. You simply need to be lucky to accomplish what they have done over a lifetime. But is it how this really works? Only being super intelligent or being very lucky or being very creative is gonna take you ahead in life just like these achievers? Maybe not. Maybe mentality and thinking plays a huge role. And I want Simar now to share her views about this topic.
Very truly said that Rome was not built in a day. So the skills which I have learned along my journey, it was always my dream to attain some leadership role. This was the dream which I had dreamt in school, but it was finally accomplished in my college. And it was like started from a smaller position, and I kept working hard to attain the position of the liaison and media documenter. Though I was not selected as the president, but it was firm and determined in my mind that I would bring a change with my actions, and this was done when I had a student in my college who was an international student, and she was from Afghanistan. She had come to a college because of the scholarship she got. It's always seen that in these Pakistani countries, people are subdued and they feel like very low to express themselves. But she was the one who used to come to me and ask me like, what can I do to improve herself? So I always used to like guide her, and I used to insist her to like raise her public speaking and come out with the skills she has. So she has always been trying, and that has motivated me to always encourage her to do certain things. Okay, this was the first example, and the second girl was my junior, Mamta. She has been a botany student. In the second year, she was not much enthusiastic about doing things, but I'm proud that today she is doing work for NGO, she is writing, she is volunteering, and doing many good things. I believe that I have been able to motivate these people from the work which I have done. Uh, Being a leader is not just about having the power of authority. It is important that you should be at the same level. And when you are a leader, it's important that you should be able to connect with people well. And when you're connecting with people well, and when you're trying to reach out to them, help them out, and share your ideas, they are also trying to learn something from you. And when they learn from you and show and bring out some positive results, that's actually what's called a true leadership. Dreamer to go getter is a concept which I had chosen because there are many people like who dream, but in somehow in their journey they forget that they need to accomplish their dream. So I would be sharing my insights like how the dreaming thing helps you to go along your go getter journey.
Well, a typical person often relies on who knows them to help move forward. However, a high achiever actually goes out there and puts themselves into the position to get to know specific kinds of people that have the knowledge, experience, and resources to help them get ahead in life. It is such a proud moment for me to realize that you are one of those persons who has the knowledge, experience, and resources to help people get ahead in life. You are not just a go getter, but also a motivation for so many others who want to be a go getter. Rightly said, Sima. Go getter is a mentality, of course, and I feel it is a state of mind that one cultivates over a lifetime. It manifests in a way one perceives and interacts with the world around them. I feel it is something that one has. That's not immediately evident, of course, and yet it is something that comes to light through every action that you take and every decision that you make. And I'm sure in your journey from a dreamer to a go getter, you must have taken some very crucial decisions in your life and must have taken strict actions to implement those decisions. I would like to hear from you. How was your journey and who all motivated you in this path? But before that, I would like to hear Pavan's say on becoming a go getter from a dreamer, what he thinks is the importance of dreams in the journey of success, and how we can become a go getter from a dreamer, rather.
Up in an Indian Navy family, I've been always been aspired by the armed forces. I have done my schooling in college from Vizag, which is also called the City of Destiny. It is the also the headquarters of the Eastern Naval Command, which is also one of the three command foundations of Indian Navy. Indian Navy is known for its chivalrous attitude. Indian Navy teaches you to be like disciplined, and like many people these days are also like looking up to this career. So I would here like to talk about one of my seniors from my college, Renu Yadav. She was selected as the Indian Air Force officer. That she has a very like inspiring story. She is the one who actually taught me many things in my life. I had met her in my school in 7th standard, and due to being transferred, as we know that defense personnel get transferred, and after that I had met her in my first year of the college, and I was surprised, and I told her that, oh, Renu Yadav, yes, I remember. And then she has been constantly working in our college, and I have also been learning many things from her. She was the one who started the Waste Management Club initiative. This was proposed by her in US. Like in USA, she was selected as one of the persons to represent our city. Over there, she had launched some projects. So we started in our college where we used to have like 3 food bins for solid waste, liquid waste, and we also used to motivate students to like understand about e-waste management. Many of you are aware about the food waste, plastic waste, but no one knows much about e-waste. So we collaborated with the Green Waves Recyclers, which is in Vizag, and from then on we started giving e-waste, and we started asking students to get like the electric gadgets, chargers, and all which they were not using, so that we could send that for recycling. In this way, we started the thing of e-waste management, and then we started conducting different drives and we organized campaigns. We used to go for the cleaning up activities. We also organized the zero waste management summit. In that summit, everyone was saying that we can't make the waste to zero level, but we over there we just presented a play and we were showing that you want a happy earth or a sad earth, it's in your hands. Though we can't make it a zero waste, but we can take up the initiative, and though we might not become a zero waste, like where you won't find any waste, but you have to start working for it. And they were all very happy, and like they felt, yeah, that we need to take up action. So there are times when you have failures and setbacks, but we need to learn from them. A successful person is not that who always keeps succeeding, and if you always keep succeeding, you think you are like ice coating on a sugar. But no, you need to have some setbacks. So there have been many setbacks. So this was one of the things which like I felt very good about her. And these are like whenever we used to organize different intercollegiate fests, we also used to have one environment related activity, because we do many things like we are doing in technology, big events and everything, but we have forgotten that environment is also very important. And in the COVID-19 also, we are seeing that many species are like new are coming up, places are becoming clear, environment is more beautiful. Why? Because now it's because of the human imbalance which was caused, now it's getting to normal. So I will say that human activities and humans should be aware that they need to be aware of the activities which they are doing. Though they may become an entrepreneur, businessman and everything, but when you're not doing anything for your environment, then I don't think all this success counts. So it's very important to be eco-friendly and a eco-buzz.
Well, it's a very interesting point to note that you have done your schooling and graduation from Vizag, or Voltaire as it was earlier called, and that you have a army background. That reminds me of the leadership skills that people can take from the army or the navy or the air force, any defense forces for that matter. They make one strive to do their best and never give up, and even never say die. At any point of time in any operation, if we see, the soldiers say that all obstacles can be crossed and they'll never put down their guns and never say they are afraid. And that speaks volumes of the courage and the motivation that they get merely from seeing the tricolor fly high. And when it comes to the e-waste initiative that you were part of and what you told about, I think it reminds me of the point that I had gathered while in Pune when I was doing my bachelor's, and we had done a project on how Pune was managing the waste and electronic waste in particular, and how the economics of it works. Then I came across a very interesting point that schools and colleges manage electronic waste better by ensuring that they go for long use products rather than short term which have short shelf life, and so it is the educational institutions that come up with solutions, and therefore when it comes to talking about any issue, it is as important as looking for a solution or a resolution in a very concise and a very clear manner. And for that, one would always need a certain motivation, a driving force, that yes, this can be done, and if it can be done, in what ways it can be done. And therefore a solution oriented mindset is as important if you want your dreams to turn to your reality. And when it comes to the point about environment and how people are waking up to realizing the fact that they've damaged the environment in a big way, that we are seeing a cleaner Ganga, a cleaner air, from where you can see Himalayas from a very distance, and all this talks about only one thing, tells me only one thing. That is, we need to look for solutions, and we need to develop a mindset that we need to look for solutions rather than create more problems. To add to these, I would like to say that even I was motivated to join the defense forces until last year, when I had actually cracked the combined defense services examination, and I was about to go to the services selection board. But then, as fate would have it, I had a clash with two other exams, and I thought it would not be very right to skip my exam, the other exam, in place for SSB. Otherwise, I have been a very motivated, very much motivated by the defense forces, and always dreamt of a career in the army.
Well, both of you have shared such beautiful insights that I feel there's no need for me to add something. But still, keeping with the pace and adding to what you guys discussed, of course, there's a lot of motivation required for moving on in life. And the aspects of environment, keeping a holistic development in mind, and always keeping in mind that it's not only you who succeeds, but with you, your community should succeed, is the best way we can move forward in life. With this, I would like to add another thing over here, the importance of the driving force that Pavan was discussing. And I've witnessed how Pavan was so conscious about getting into army, and he also cleared the exam. He was very excited back then. So, what pulls a person forward is the driving force. Well, right now, all of us are all set to exit from this gloomy period of lockdown. In this lockdown period, we all have realized that we've not been doing good to our nature and society. Well, in this period, the society and the nature have revived, and now it's time that all of us spring back to our lives. And I'm sure that's going to happen very soon. But before that, all of us, the labor class, the working class, the migrant labor class, the students, youth, everyone needs a dose of motivation so that they can all spring back like a go getter and not like a dreamer. So basically, I want both of you to share your opinions on how we can manifest, reinforce this mentality of go getter inside of us with our daily practices and actions. How can we become a go getter from a dreamer? How all of us can implement this bit in our lives, and with some supporting examples or stories, you can also tell us and share with us how success stories are framed. I would give both of you the chance to speak one by one.
This lockdown period has been a time when everyone's had like high levels of anxiety, fear, and stress. But like there are many things which everyone could do, like you could practice some meditation or yoga. This would bring calmness. And I believe that being achieving everything is just not achieving both externally, but internally also you should have like a control over your mindset, and you should grow as a person in this time, because when the lockdown gets over you should like flourish out. You might have seen a butterfly. If you know the life cycle of a butterfly, it starts from a cocoon, then comes out, and when it finally comes from its the larval stage, it like wings out as a beautiful butterfly. So I wish that everyone springs out like the butterfly. So this is your life cycle, and you have to like come out and fight this lockdown period. And how you could do that, like there would be many people, some would be students like us, We can use this time like we can use the e-learning platform. I was introduced to e-learning platform by Lovely. There are many sources where you can learn some skills, because in this world you need both hard skills and soft skills to be a good person. And then I would like to tell you about the innovative leadership model which I've recently done from Common Purpose Commonwealth 100. This initiative was started at like TEDx London by all the youth leaders of the Commonwealth countries. So this model focuses on being innovative, interconnected, awakened, trustworthy and accessible. So it's very important that a person as a leader you should be innovative, have something which leads to innovation. Interconnected, you should be able to connect to all the people. Awake is that you should know what's happening around in your surroundings. Trustworthy is that when you are trustworthy, people will share things with you. Accessible is that everyone should be easily be able to approach to you. So this is being like it's being about being accessible. This was just about a leadership model. And I would also say that everyone should learn about personal branding. Many of you would not be aware like what personal branding is. Even I never knew about it being a biotechnology student. Personal branding is how you enhance your own personal brand. You might think that brands is all about McD, Nike, Adidas. No. Every human being carries their own personal brand. And how do you build a personal brand? You build that personal brand by working on yourself, like enhancing your soft skills, your hard skills, technical skills, and learning some good moral values and ethics, so that when people look up to you, you might portray a feeling that you have your own brand. So that is what all about personal branding is.
Thank you, Lapit. I think friend today has added a very important aspect that one can even become productive and achieve something during this lockdown. So, insofar as my own views are concerned, I have always looked up to three people. One is Dr. Abdul Kalam, the other was Dr. Sam Manekshaw, and right now, in the last couple of years, Dr. Subramanian Swamy. He is an eminent economist and currently a member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha. So I think why did I look up at these three as my others, or my idols? Because every one of them have had a lot of failures and still managed to climb up the ladder to what they are today, and each have contributed a lot to our nation. So Dr. Kalam in the field of missile technology and defense technology, Field Marshal Manekshaw was instrumental in winning the war for India in 1971, and Dr. Swamy has always been an important figure not only in politics but even in policy making, by being an economist, and as a minister he was the one who virtually rejigged our economy from failure and helped it put it on a growth track in 1990. So all three of them have a certain set of actions that we can all emulate, and certainly I've been trying my best to emulate from them. And that is this: set a goal, identify what is your objective, how do you achieve it, what are the right means, what is the right way to go about an issue, and what is the final objective. You might have an initial and you might have a final objective. So there should be a serious thought about what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and you cannot just dream. You might dream well, but you should know that whether you are actually putting the right effort. So over the last couple of years, I've been trying my best to think out of the box to help our economy in a different way. So if you have a certain standard practice that you follow today, I am trying to think of something new, and I try to see if it works. The important thing is whatever solutions we can think of, it should work. And if it doesn't, okay, it doesn't matter. You can always look for plan B. So I think success, by the way, is not the only thing. The other side of a coin is failure. You can say success and failure are the two sides of the same coin, and one should always be, you know, indifferent to both of them, because when you can have failure, there's a high possibility of success happening, and when you're succeeding, you might also fall flat on your face the next day. So there should be a balance between success and failure as well, because both of them are as uh, you know normal to us as night and day are.
It was a very good opportunity that I got to express my views and insights from a dreamer to a go getter. Now, I would like to also tell you about biotechnology. Biotechnology is a new field that's coming up, and I guess every other students who are like good at biology and who think they can do something innovative and creative could opt for this field. This biotech field is like basically it focuses on using some living organisms. By using these organisms, we are trying to make some products or things which could benefit the mankind. So in this way, you're using your scientific knowledge as well as your humanity, your quality of being kind to do something for the mankind. So this biotech field basically has different fields. It deals with plant biotechnology, where you can help in making some fruit development and increasing the nutrient quality. And the animal biotechnology, you would have heard about the Dolly the sheep. It was made by using the animal biotech, where you alter the like genetic makeup of the organism. And the food biotechnology, it's basically using some innovative methods to increase the food packaging, bringing some innovation. And you would have heard that during this COVID times, many people are opting for the herbal drinks, because that is would increase your immunity, and people are more shifting towards the immunity drinks. So it's all like food biotechnology is helping mainly in this. So I guess food sector will be the one will create more opportunities after this COVID. So you can look for, like, if you have some good innovative ideas to do innovations in food. And many of you are under stress and wondering why the vaccine is not coming, and why, like, for COVID, because if you study in pharma and medical biotech, it takes like 8 to 9 months to do the clinical trials, and then you have to do the testing. You need to test it on organisms, and then you need to get like checked it by different organizations, and then comes the approval. So there's a lot big process in vaccine coming. It's just not a matter of fact in 1 or 2 days or in months you approve a vaccine. So I believe that biotechnology is a good career if you would like to pursue. You can do research, you could make some good innovative products, or you can also do many new things in this field. You can go in biotech business, start your own startups. At the end, I would like to conclude by saying that if you have a dream, just work hard towards it. And if you are a true dreamer, and it's your empowering nature that will help you to achieve your goal, and just fire your dreams.
Well, it is a moment of pride for me to see how beautifully Pavan and Simmer have expressed their views and shared some important inputs on how you can adapt this go-getter mentality. Of course, being a go-getter isn't easy, and it'll require you to become a more aggressive, cunning and resourceful version of yourself. It will require you to shift how you think about your life and circumstances which you face each and every day. But it's all worth it. Just like Pavan said, success and failure are two faces of a coin. But journey is the most important thing, where you learn all the things. Just because you don't know when you toss a coin what's gonna come, that doesn't mean you will leave the journey in between. Becoming a go-getter will require you to turn on that mental switch that propels you forward towards life's toughest challenges, without hesitancy and doubt. Yes, being a go-getter is an almost insurmountable journey. It will drain every last drop of your physical and mental energy which you have in you. However, this mentality is what will eventually separate you from almost everyone else in the world. Just like some beautiful examples were quoted by Pavan and Simmer. It is this mentality that propels them forward and helps them achieve all their goals and aspirations, bringing all their hopes and dreams into reality. We have already established, that becoming a go-getter takes a hell lot of work. This journey will not be easy, but with persistent and consistent efforts over time, I'm sure all of us will progressively become go-getters. We will begin making changes that will help us turn on that switch that activates this go-getter mentality. Well, a go-getter is someone who's passionate, resourceful, perspective, dependable, and driven. These people are extremely open-minded and often ask very inquisitive questions. And so we ask you to put forward your questions, whatever you have, so that our youth leaders can answer those questions. While an average person is reactive by nature, the go-getter is proactive with how they deal the unpredictable nature of their circumstances. Go-getters live life on their own terms, in full control of their own destiny, making the most of every situation they find themselves in. Well, the highest achievers of this world often put everything on the line to accomplish their dreams. They literally do not have a fallback plan. They go in all and sacrifice all they have got, all the energy, all the positivity to bring their dreams to reality. Are you all willing and able to do that? Even if you're not able to do that, you being willing is enough. We are all together in this. A great many people might not be willing, but then you have to make your mind. Not everyone can be a go-getter, but it's our effort that everyone should be a go-getter. An incredible yet uncertain journey awaits for you. With this, it's time for us to leave now. We thank Simmerpreet Kaur for joining us on this journey. And I have to say, you're incredible and you are an example for everyone. Thank you so much for being so patient with us. Keep sharing and keep supporting us. Thank you. Signing off, this is your host, Lovepreet Kaur.